to, but my boss is trying to get it to be a, oh, by the way, if you got chapped lips in the wintertime like I do, I know it's Laneige lip sleeping mask. I literally put this on all day, every day, and I sleep in it. And when I sleep in it, since I'm not like talking or doing much with my mouth while I'm sleeping, other than sleeping, I wake up and it's still on my lips. So I love that stuff. But anyway, we are working from home, which is awesome. I'm loving it, and my boss is trying to get us to work from home for good. So kind of keeping my fingers crossed that that becomes a thing. I got so much done today compared to like when I'm in the office because I didn't get interrupted at all. There's constantly people coming in and out of our office, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in our little office room or whatever. So there's always so much going on, and I got so much stuff done. So I think they're gonna find that, like, for the most part, when most people work from home, it's just so much more productive. So anyway, I am on my way to the barn now. I'm almost there. It's like 54 degrees, so it's not super cold, but like I was a little chilly. Why is my air conditioning on? No wonder I'm chilly. So the plan is, I think the outdoor will be okay. I kind of want to set up a grid and take Theo through it because we need to definitely work on his technique a little bit. Because since we are planning on competing in the jumper ring, you know, there's obviously a lot more technique that goes into it. So we've been really trying to focus on his flat work for one, but I do want to take him over a small grid, and because I've only taken him over a grid, like a bounce line, once. So I want to take him through a grid and see how he does through that, but I just don't know if I want to go set it up. That's kind of where I'm at. Because I have to measure everything out, and it's all wet, I'm sure, in the outdoor, which I'm sure the footing's fine, but like it's still like wet, so all the sand and stuff. Ugh. I don't know. I'm hoping I can figure out my camera today because it's so shaky when it zooms in, and it's starting to piss me off. I did not pay $900 for that thing for it to do that. So like I'm super irritated, and I'm gonna see if there's something going on with it that needs to be fixed. Maybe it's the level of the ground that it's on, but it shakes no matter where it's at when it zooms in. So I don't know what to do. But that is the plan for the barn today. I didn't go out yesterday. I was actually in the office yesterday, and then I had to carry all of my stuff from my office to the parking garage, which is really far, which is not ideal. But I did that, so I was super tired, and I was just getting everything set up for the office today. Orange Theory, which is where I go to work out every day at 5 a.m. for the most part, has officially closed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for working out. I'm a little upset. So I signed up for Daily Burn, and you get like a 30-day free trial. So I was like, I'll at least have like workouts to do at home, because I know I had P90X somewhere, but I literally just cannot find it. I have no idea where it went. I know I bought it and it was like $80. So it's probably in a box in our basement somewhere, because it got packed away from the move. Because it was one of those like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in shape. Woohoo, I'm gonna work out. Yeah. I'm gonna do this from home. I'm gonna get cut. And I think I did it for like a day, and then I never touched it again. Story of my life. That's why I'm so mad that Orange Theory's closed, because I finally got a routine. Like, finally, years and years and years of wanting to work out and get into a routine. Finally did it. And now it's like, nope. So I start just by doing a little bit of trot work. Don't really ask him for much, just to get him going forward, get him to be responsive of my aids, and try to do some bending work each side. And then I typically go straight from that into the canter. That seems to work best for him, and then come back down and start kind of collecting and bringing him back up in the trot after he's had a chance to canter and stretch out a little bit. He is particularly stiff this day. He was stalled on, let's see, this was Wednesday or Tuesday. He was stalled all day Monday because of the weather. So he was a little bit stiff today, and he does need his hocks injected. I'm just waiting for the vet to be able to make it out to come do that. He's not terrible or anything, but he just gets a little stiff and a smidge ouchy. You can see it in some of the steps on the trot, but that's why I really work on focusing on warming him up before we do much. And that's also why he did not get his back lead here, because his hocks do need to be done. So now I'm gonna start kind of letting go of the contact, just to kind of make sure his pace stays the same and he's not relying on my hands to balance. And then I ask him to extend down the long side and then bring him back. So I'll do this little bit just for him to kind of get some different tempos and get different muscles moving. And then here is where I start asking him to lift his back and start rounding. And I realized I didn't have my Apple Watch going because I track this as cardio, which it is. So anyway, now we're back at it. Now I'm kind of just very gently asking him to take contact, and then I'm going to start doing some transitions is typically what I get into. So I'll ask him to come down to the trot and then back up to the canter, and then walk to canter and whatnot. So I bring him back to the trot and then ask him for the canter, and he picks up the wrong lead, so then I try to get the inside bend and pick it up again, and he got it this time. Sometimes his little brain just kind of goes a mile a minute and he just gets all frantic. That's kind of why I really wanted to work with these grids, because he can get a little bit like, you can feel it underneath you where he's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what are we doing? But now, just asking him to trot, asking him to lift his back, and I believe, yep, now I'm going to try and get him to stretch down. So I like to do this in the middle of the workout before we start jumping. So I'll ask him to stretch down, and then I'll go between trot and canter, specifically trying to ask him to stretch in the canter because it's a little bit harder for him to do that versus in the trot. So now I'm going to start picking him back up and ask him to trot and ask him to stretch down on the right rein. So obviously I have to do both sides. He is better, I think, on going to the right. His left side is a little bit more stiff. So yep, asking him to canter now, just on a loose rein, but also trying to get him to go forward, stretch down. Obviously a little bit harder for him in the canter versus the trot, but the trot he does still really well. It's very inconsistent, very up and down, but that's just because he has a pretty tight back, so we're working on loosening him up. But now I'm going to start warming up to jump. So I go over this, jumps that nicely, and then I come around, and the camera's kind of in the line of this fence, like it's in the middle of the diagonal line. So I kind of came to this at a slice, but I used it as a learning opportunity because different distances that are not like the normal exact ones, he gets a little bit frantic about. So now we're gonna go through the grid. He does come up when we come around the corner. He's like, oh my god, all those jumps, and he stops. And I just press him on to make him go over that, or so you can walk over it and then I come and circle around, and then he goes over the cross rail, and he's a little bit frantic. You see his head up in the air. He's like, what is this? What are we doing? Goes over that, and then he's like, I don't know, but still goes, which is good. And then he's kind of a little bit all over the place throughout the rest of this, but he kind of got the gist of what we were doing after that. I feel like I blew his little brain going through that grid. So now that he knows what we're doing, he's like, okay, let's go, let's go. I pick up the reins and he's like, okay, let's go. I'm like, no, listen to my seat, listen to my legs. And so he's just like, let's go, I'm ready to go. So I'm just trying to get him down, and now he's like, I don't know. I think after this one he definitely starts getting the hang of it, but that one wasn't bad. He just kind of second guessed himself on the distances, which is what I really want to work on and get him to be more confident with not perfect exact distances to the fence. And as we're going through this, he starts getting more and more and more forward because he's getting so excited. And I tried a French link voucher on him today, and they're a boucher or whatever they're called. And I don't really like it. I think we're going back to the loose ring miler, but he was raring and ready to go once he figured this out and realized like how much fun the grids are. Sugar boy. Honey, get your tail so freaking dirty. Stay. All right, so Tim was a little bit amped up today, but he also was stalled yesterday. It didn't get turned out, and I didn't lunge him or anything beforehand. So I was going to start trotting down here. He was like, okay, let's go. So I was like, all right. And then he's like, nope, I want to go faster. He just wanted a canter this whole time. So honestly, I just let him. I was like, whatever, do your thing. And he was like, oh my god. So yeah, that was pretty abrupt and ugly looking transition, but whatever. When he gets like this kind of spooky and uppity, like he's gonna pop, I just have been trying to ride him through it because sometimes you don't have a place to let him go run and be crazy out at a show. So I need to be able to work him through like this anxiety and his anxiousness when he's got a lot of energy. So that's kind of why I haven't been lunging him beforehand. So 10 has definitely done crits before, but we have not done them in a very long time. So coming through this, he was kind of like, oh wait, oh god, wait, there's more. Oh, there's more. So we kind of got all over the place, but the next couple times through, he did a lot better. Now, through a lot of this, 10 gets really, really heavy, and he likes to balance on your hands, aka he's lazy and likes to get out of as much work as he possibly can. So, and right there, he landed and like tried to take off to the left. So my natural instinct was to pull back on the reins, and I kind of popped him in the mouth too hard. So that's why when I stopped, I pet him because, yeah, obviously, yeah, he shouldn't have done that, but I overreacted to him doing that because he was a little uppity, so I was afraid he was going to take off. So I just walked him back up to the jump because I thought maybe he had caught out of the corner of his eye those flowers from the flower box. So I just wanted to walk him up to it and let him see it and kind of let him sniff it because I want him to go straight afterwards. But there's also a big puddle up to the left where water gathers when it rains. And so he does not like going through water very much, so he tries to avoid it at all costs. So that mixed with the flowers, I think, is what caused him to do that. So here, I tried to make him mad, and he was like, nope. And then he decided to try to spin around the puddle, and then he was crossfiring and just got all out of whack. So I decided to try and regroup, trot him around a little bit, and then just take him over this one on its own and make him go straight. Even though he didn't land on the right lead, that is okay. I just wanted to make sure that he went over it without trying to duck out to the left. So now he is, through this one, he's starting to get real excited, and he got real forward and still tried to duck out to the left on that one, but he's just all crazy and all excited. I'm like, oh my god, you need to stop. Which, it was kind of funny because he was having fun, but still, I'm like, okay, this is enough. So I'm doing a little circle just to get us regrouped and together before I take him through the grid again. And so we're coming up to it, and he chips in a little bit. Kind of missteps there, but ends up jumping it really nicely. Still doesn't land on the right lead, but he got the change afterwards. And as you can see there, he was leaning on my hands, and now he's trying to pull me down and grab the bit. So I'm debating on whether or not I want to try a Waterford again, because he did pretty good in that. But I just have him in a D-ring happy mouth here. This one, yep, he did good on that one too. Landed on the wrong lead just because he's not interested in going past that water, but that's okay. I wasn't really focusing on that, just wanted to get through it nice. So you'll hear a big bang, and then you'll hear me yell because the horses in the pasture broke the fence, and they were spooking him as they were coming down, as he was coming down. So my goal on this next one around is to try and get him to land on the left lead. I hadn't been really trying to enforce it too much just because I didn't want him to use that as an excuse to run out to the left. So through here wasn't that pretty, and this jump was quite big, but he landed on the right lead and did that really nice. Smile. 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 Yay, so handsome. All right, last handful. Smile. Good boy. It is now, what time is it? 6:45. I'm on my way home. Just left the barn. I had the grid with both of them. Theo at first, which you'll see in the video, he refused and he was like, oh, no. But then once he like went through it a couple times and started getting confidence, like, oh, I know what I'm doing, then he was like, let's go. So grids and like stuff like that where he has to be really quick with his feet, he is less confident with. He's not, I don't know if he had done grids or bounce lines or anything like that with his previous owner, but at least with me, he is very not confident with it, and he gets all flustered and like gets, and then sometimes will refuse the first couple times. So I kind of just tried to like help him through it and push him through it. I ended up, I think he refused the first one, and then I made him walk over because it was just a cross rail, and then he refused the second one, so I turned around, made him go through. He jumped the first one, refused the second one, so then I like took him through again, which you will have already seen. But I was really proud of him. Like, he went through, and once he realized like, oh, this is what we're doing, then he was like totally game for it. So I even raised the last one up to 2.9, and I think it was 2.9, and then I think I raised the oxer up to 2.9. But oh my god, he's so awesome. Like, when he jumps over like those oxers and those bigger fences, he really kicks his back legs up, and like it's just the craziest thing to feel, because I've never ridden a horse that did that. But 10 did really good. He was kind of full of shit today, but it was also my fault for not lunging him, not running him around or anything, and just hopping on and riding. So for him to be as good as he was, like, I was really proud. And he also had yesterday off. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for everybody that's been commenting on my videos. I know I don't have like a huge following or anything, but like all the comments really do like mean a lot to me. Like, I love interacting with people online, and it just makes my day. It really does. I love the equestrian community and the equestrian people, and I feel like as of late everybody's just been so positive and so nice. I haven't seen a whole lot of negativity, which is like really, really good. Just wanted to say that I really enjoy filming, so I will keep doing it even